Hello there, my beautiful garden-loving friend. Come sit beside me for a while on a quiet morning porch, the kind where the air is still soft and the day hasn't quite made up its mind yet. The wood beneath your feet is warm from yesterday's sun, and your favorite mug is gently steaming between your hands. Maybe there's a bird somewhere singing just for you. Maybe there's a breeze carrying the scent of something blooming lavender, perhaps, or an old-fashioned rose that's finally found its rhythm. This little porch, this patio, whatever you call your outdoor corner, it's more than just space. It's your escape, your sanctuary, your canvas. And if you're anything like me, you've stood there many mornings, coffee in hand, wondering how to bring more you into it. Maybe you've dreamed of trailing blooms, soft glows at twilight, a space that feels less like the back of a house and more like the front row seat to a peaceful, blooming life. But then reality whispers back garden centers with prices that make your eyebrows raise, DIY projects that need strength you no longer wish to summon, and ideas that seem designed for hands younger than ours. Well, let me tell you a gentle truth, dear one. You don't need money or muscle to make something magical. What you do need, what you already have, is imagination, care, and the wisdom to see beauty where others might see bargains. That's the spirit behind today's video. Together, we're going to reimagine your outdoor space using nothing more than Dollar Tree finds and a bit of heart. These are projects made for real porches, real people, and real joy. So grab your favorite drink, tuck your feet up, and let your heart wander as we step into over 30 peaceful, affordable, and delightfully creative ways to turn your porch or patio into a summer retreat that feels like it was made just for you. Let's begin, shall we? Do you remember those old spice racks from decades ago, the ones that sat beside the stove, tiered like a wedding cake, holding little jars of flavor and memory? That same clever use of space can be brought outside to your garden, only this time. Instead of thyme and oregano, it's bursting with cascading petunias, fragrant mint, or maybe cheerful marigolds. Dollar Tree's 3-section stackable planters, just $1.25 each, are little wonders waiting for your creativity. Instead of planting in traditional heavy containers that require bending and reaching, this idea brings your garden up to meet you. No need to crouch or kneel, just stack and smile. Here's how to bring this vision to life. Start with 3 or 4 of those triangular stackable planters. In the center of each, drill a small hole, nothing fancy, just large enough to slide them down onto a support. A thin metal rod works beautifully, but don't overlook a wooden dowel, or even an old broomstick you've had tucked away in the garage. Secure the bottom planter in a sturdy base, something with weight like a bucket filled with rocks, or a planter you already own. Then one by one, slide each layer down the rod until your tower takes shape. Fill each section with lightweight potting mix. Choose plants that spill and drape, sweet alyssum, creeping, Jenny baby basil. Let the top tier be your crown, something that grows upward like lavender or miniature zinnias. Suddenly you've created a garden that greets you at eye level. Watering is easier, tending is gentler, and your porch gains a vertical pop of color and fragrance that feels both elegant and personal. This isn't just a planter, it's a reminder. A reminder that we can always grow upward no matter how small the space or limited the materials. That beauty doesn't require bending over backwards sometimes, it just needs a gentle lift. And just like those spice racks of years past, your tower becomes something both practical and joyful. Something that holds life and flavor and love, layered one thoughtful choice at a time. Do you remember the first time you left town for a few days and returned to find your plants wilted and gasping like forgotten guests? It's a feeling many of us know, especially when summer sun stretches long and strong, and our green companions are left waiting for a drink we weren't there to pour. But oh, how that worry melts away with a little bit of Dollar Tree magic. This next idea is a gentle gift to your plants and to your peace of mind. Those $5 self-watering planters from Dollar Tree are simple miracles in disguise. They have a hidden reservoir built into the base, so your flowers and herbs can sip slowly and stay nourished even when life pulls you elsewhere. Start by filling the bottom chamber with water. Not too much, just enough to let the wicking system do its job. Then add your potting soil and favorite plants on top. Think about petunias, basil, parsley, even a cheerful coleus. The system quietly draws up moisture as the soil dries, giving your plants exactly what they need without overdoing it. The best part: These planters mean no more dragging hoses, no more accidental overwatering, and no more guilt when you forget for a day or two, especially when those sweet grandkids come to visit, and your attention is elsewhere. Place a few of these planters around your porch or patio. Cluster them for a lush, full look, or space them out near chairs and railings so greenery greets you from every direction. You can even use them in hard-to-reach spots where regular watering feels like a chore. And here's a little secret, they're not just practical, they're beautiful. The sleek design, especially when paired with trailing flowers, makes them look far more expensive than they are. Because in the end, a garden should bring ease as much as beauty. These planters offer both. They give you freedom to focus on what matters: your morning tea, your crossword puzzle, or that phone call from an old friend. It's not about doing less, it's about doing smarter. These self-watering containers remind us that even in the garden, love and care can be offered quietly without fuss and still make everything bloom. Some evenings just ask for magic, don't they? Not the loud glittering kind, but the soft kind. The kind that glows gently in a quiet corner, just enough to make your heart feel lit from the inside out. That's the kind of magic you can create with nothing more than a humble mason jar and a few fairy lights from Dollar Tree. Do you remember catching fireflies as a child, cupping them gently in your palms, watching them blink like tiny lanterns against the night? These glowing jars are a nod to that memory. Only now they stay lit just a little longer, and don't try to fly away. Start with a simple glass mason jar from Dollar Tree. You'll find them in a variety of shapes. Choose the one that speaks to your sense of nostalgia. Add a few decorative stones or river pebbles to the bottom. These serve two purposes. They weigh the jar down and add a natural texture that looks beautiful day or night. Next, coil a small string of battery-operated fairy lights into the jar. The kind that come with a tiny on-off switch you can easily tuck behind the jar or hide in a drawer. Close the lid loosely or leave it open if you prefer that airy look. The result: a soft pool of light that looks like it came straight from a fairy tale. Set them on side tables, stair steps, or window ledges. Nestle a few between your flower pots. Line them up along the porch railing like glowing breadcrumbs leading home. Want to take it one step further? Tie a little ribbon or twine around the jar neck, or use glass paint to add delicate designs. Some even add pressed flowers or lace along the inside for an extra vintage touch. And here's the thing, it's not just about light. It's about what that light does to the soul. These mason jar lanterns don't just illuminate your space, they invite you into it. They say, stay a while. They whisper, you've made something beautiful. Because at this stage of life, we understand that it's the small glimmers, the tiny points of glow that mean the most. One jar, one light, one quiet evening on your favorite chair. And suddenly the whole porch feels enchanted. Let me take you back for a moment to a time when we used to see everyday items not just for what they were, but for what they could be. A spool could be a table, a ladder could be a bookshelf, and wire baskets. Well, today they become something truly elegant. If you've strolled through Dollar Tree recently, you may have seen those wire waste baskets, lightweight, metallic, and quietly utilitarian. But paired with a bit of nautical rope and a painted pizza pan, they transform into charming plant stands that look like they belong in a coastal boutique. Here's how the magic unfolds. You'll need 2 matching wire baskets. Turn them upside down, place them bottom to bottom, and secure them together with strong glue or zip ties. Just like that, you've created the bones of your plant pedestal. Now comes the fun part. Take Dollar Tree's natural colored nautical rope, thick enough to cover surface quickly but soft enough to wrap with ease. Start at the bottom and begin coiling upward, hot gluing as you go. There's no rush here. Let your hands find their rhythm. The rope not only adds visual interest but also hides the basket seams and creates a look that feels handcrafted and intentional. Top it with a painted pizza pan. Yes, a pizza pan. Paint it any color that suits your patio. A matte black for a touch of elegance, a pale blue for beachy vibes, or sage green for a soft garden feel. The flat surface makes the perfect perch for your favorite potted plant lantern or even a cold glass of lemonade on a summer afternoon. Set one next to your chair for easy access. Place a pair flanking your front steps, or group 3 of varying heights to create a vignette that draws the eye and frames your outdoor sanctuary. The beauty of this project isn't just in how it looks, it's in how it lifts your garden quite literally. By raising your plants, you make them easier to see, easier to care for, and easier to appreciate. No stooping, no backache. Just admiration and ease. And isn't that the gift of aging gracefully? We learn how to elevate not only our flowers, but our comfort. We find ways to do more with less to beautify without breaking the bank or our backs. This plant stand whispers, "I see potential in the overlooked." And that's something many of us have learned to do very well. Now here's a little garden secret that might just make you chuckle. You know those colorful foam pool noodles? The ones that used to float beside giggling grandchildren in backyard pools or line the edge of beach wagons in summertime? Well, it turns out they've been hiding a second life. One that's wonderfully kind to both your back and your budget. If you've ever tried to fill a large outdoor planter, you know the struggle. Bag after heavy bag of potting soil, lifting, dumping, straining, only to realize your plant barely reaches the top. It's expensive, it's exhausting, and it's just not necessary. Enter the humble pool noodle. The next time you're at Dollar Tree, pick up a few. They're light, colorful, and surprisingly sturdy. Back home, take a sharp knife or kitchen scissors and cut them into chunks 3 to 5 inches each. Works beautifully. These will act as lightweight filler inside your pots. Start by layering a handful of noodle pieces at the bottom of your planter. You'll want to fill about 1/3 of the depth, maybe more, for deeper containers. Then place a sheet of breathable landscape fabric or even a cut piece of old window screen over the noodles before adding soil. This helps keep everything in place and prevents soil from settling too deep into the gaps. Top with your potting mix and plants of choice. Suddenly your flowers are lifted closer to the rim, right where they belong, on display, easy to water, easy to admire. You've reduced the weight of the planter significantly, making it easy to move when the sun shifts or when the season calls for a refresh. And you've cut down on the amount of soil needed, which means savings you can use elsewhere in the garden or maybe on a little treat for yourself. And let's not forget the best part. No heavy lifting, no sore arms, no bending over bags in the trunk of your car. Just simple, clever gardening that works smarter, not harder. It's a good reminder, isn't it? That things once meant for play can find new purpose. That joy and practicality often hold hands. And that we too can adapt, finding new ways to flourish with a little imagination and a lot less effort. Who knew something from the pool toy aisle would be the thing that saves your back and brightens your patio? Do you remember those farmhouse catalogs we used to thumb through, filled with cozy candle lanterns, distressed wood, and soft flickering shadows that made every porch feel like a dream? Beautiful, yes, but the price tags, not always so kind. But with a little creativity and 4 simple picture frames from Dollar Tree, you can bring that same warm charm to your own porch for just a few dollars and a few minutes of your time. Begin with 4 matching picture frames. It doesn't matter whether they're wood-tone black or white, you can always paint them to match your style. Carefully remove the glass and backing from each frame so you're left with just the outer frame structure. This creates an airy, open design that allows the light to dance freely. Now form your frames into a cube. You can secure them at the corners using small metal hinges for a polished look, or simply strong hot glue or double-sided mounting tape for a quicker fix. If you'd like a top to the lantern, you can attach a 5th frame or leave it open to let the breeze flow through. Inside your lantern, place a battery-operated pillar candle or LED light. Even a small strand of fairy lights coiled inside works beautifully. As evening falls, this little box of light begins casting soft shadows through the frame openings, patterns that stretch gently across the porch floor like lace made of light. Here's where your personal touch comes in. You can change out the interior decor with the seasons. Line the inner edges with burlap and autumn leaves in the fall, bits of evergreen or snowflake paper in winter, or simply leave it open for that fresh, summery feel. Add a small ribbon at the top or a piece of driftwood for coastal flair. You see, this isn't just a lantern. It's a canvas for your imagination. It doesn't just light a corner of your patio, it tells a story. One of resourcefulness, warmth, and thoughtful beauty. And perhaps best of all, it proves again that decorating doesn't need to be difficult or expensive. You're not buying someone else's idea of charm. You're creating your own. That's the power of these little projects. They don't just brighten your garden. They brighten your spirit, reminding you that your hands still hold magic and that even the simplest frame can become something extraordinary in your care. There's something about a whiskey barrel planter that feels timeless, isn't there? Maybe it's the way the curved slats mimic the look of well-worn wood. Maybe it's how they conjure up images of country gardens, vineyard terraces, or an old homestead porch where the air smells of lavender and fresh bread. The truth is, those classic whiskey barrel planters don't need years of weathering or a big investment to bring that rustic elegance to your space. Dollar Tree's lightweight versions give you the look instantly without the cost or the heavy lifting. Here's how to make them shine. Start by choosing your plants with the same care you'd choose flowers for a special occasion. For a cottage-style feel, mix trailing ivy with colorful annuals like petunias, calibrachoa, or bright geraniums. For a kitchen garden twist, try filling the barrel with a mix of fragrant herbs, rosemary standing tall in the center, thyme spilling over the edges, basil and parsley filling the gaps. Because these planters are so light, you can move them easily to follow the sun or to freshen up your porch layout. Group 3 of different sizes for a layered display, or set a single large one beside your front door as a welcoming statement. And here's a simple way to give your arrangement even more character. Top the soil with a thin layer of Spanish moss pea gravel or decorative mulch. It hides the potting mix, keeps moisture in, and gives that finished designer look you'd see in a garden magazine. Over time, as the plants grow and spill over the sides, your whiskey barrel will look like it's been part of your home for decades. Its history built entirely by your hands and care. What I love most about these planters is how they tell a story right away. Even new, they have that lived-in charm, as if they've been witness to countless sunny afternoons, shared conversations, and the gentle passing of seasons. They remind us that beauty doesn't always have to be fussed over, it can arrive ready to be loved. Just like a good friend who doesn't need an introduction, these barrels feel instantly familiar, instantly at home. And every time you pass by, you'll know that it's not just the flowers that are thriving there. It's the spirit of a garden that welcomes you in year after year. Sometimes the smallest change makes the biggest difference, and this next idea is proof. It's one of those, why didn't I think of that sooner moments that turn something ordinary into something polished, practical, and perfectly suited for a senior-friendly garden. You've probably seen those little solar garden lights at Dollar Tree. They're charming, but often so short they get lost among taller plants or hidden behind planters. And if you've ever tried to bend down to adjust them, you know it's not the most graceful task. Here's the simple solution: broom handles. Pick up a few plain broom handles at Dollar Tree, the kind that are hollow at the top. Remove the cap from your solar light stake and you'll notice the pointed end slips neatly into that hollow broom handle opening. Just like that, you've instantly raised the height of your light by a few feet. Now you can line them along your walkway edge, your porch, or dot them throughout your garden beds. The extra height makes the lights more visible, casting a wider glow, and it means no stooping to reposition or clean them. Plus, when grouped together, they look intentionally designed, like you planned for them to be that way from the start. You can leave the broom handles in their natural finish for a rustic look, or paint them to match your porch decor. A coat of white paint gives a cottage feel, black lends elegance, and bright colors bring a bit of playfulness. The best part: the entire project takes just minutes, but the improvement in both appearance and function is immediate. Your pathways will feel safer for evening strolls. Your porch edges will be softly illuminated, and your garden will carry a touch of evening romance. It's a reminder that we don't always need to buy new things to solve a problem. Sometimes we just need to look at what we already have or can affordably find in a different way. That's the real heart of creative gardening, taking what's simple and making it shine. And just like that, a humble broom handle becomes a lantern stand. A small shift, a better view, and a little more light to guide you home. Have you ever looked up at the night sky on a clear summer evening and wished you could bring a little bit of that starlit magic closer? This next idea does exactly that. Only instead of distant constellations, you'll have your very own glowing orbs drifting gently above your porch. It all begins with something wonderfully simple: Dollar Tree's wire hanging planters. You've probably seen them designed to cradle flowers in coconut liners. But with a little imagination, 2 of these planters can become a glowing sphere that turns any evening into an occasion. Here's how: remove the chains from both planters, then place them open side together to form a perfect globe. Secure them with zip ties or sturdy wire at several points so they hold their shape. Now comes the magic. Take a strand of battery-operated fairy lights and weave them through the wire framework, letting the lights nestle naturally in the gaps. For an extra touch, tuck in a few pieces of artificial greenery or trailing vines between the wires. This softens the look during the day and adds texture to the glow at night. Once your globe is ready, hang it from a hook on your porch ceiling, the branch of a nearby tree, or even a shepherd's hook in a large planter. The gentle swaying in the evening breeze will scatter light and shadow in the most enchanting way, almost like your own personal moon. You can create a single statement piece or a series of smaller globes to float at varying heights, each one a jewel in your nighttime garden. And because they're battery-powered, you can place them anywhere, no cords, no outlets, no fuss. When the sun dips low and your porch begins to glow with these spheres of light, you'll find yourself lingering just a little longer in the evening air. They're not just lights. They're mood setters, conversation starters, and little reminders that beauty often comes from the simplest ideas. And just like the stars overhead, they'll be there quietly shining for you night after night, no matter how the day went. That, my dear friend, is garden magic at its finest. Sometimes the most delightful ideas come from turning things on their head, literally. This next project is playful, a little unexpected, and guaranteed to make guests pause with a smile when they see it glowing in your garden. All you need are a few basic terracotta-style pots from Dollar Tree and some solar stake lights. The trick: flip the pots upside down so the drainage hole is now at the top. That's where your solar light stake will slide in perfectly, holding it steady while giving the whole piece a whimsical mushroom-like appearance. If you're feeling creative, take a few minutes to paint the pots before assembly. You might choose soft pastels for a cottage garden, look bold jewel tones for drama, or even earthy browns and mossy greens for a natural woodland feel. Leave some unpainted for that rustic clay charm. Each option brings its own personality. Arrange your upside-down mushroom lights in clusters along a walkway, circle them around a seating area, or dot them among flower beds. By day, they'll add sculptural interest, looking like oversized toadstools nestled in your plantings. By night, they'll glow warmly, casting soft pools of light that make your outdoor space feel both safe and inviting. Because the lights are solar-powered, they'll soak in the day's sunshine without any work from you, then automatically turn on at dusk. No wires, no switches, just that gentle glow when the evening settles in. And here's something I love about this project. It's low to the ground, but it doesn't require kneeling or bending for upkeep. Once they're in place, they quietly do their job, bringing charm without fuss. It's a sweet reminder that sometimes the world looks a little brighter when we're willing to see it from a different angle. That an ordinary pot can become something magical just by being turned upside down. And perhaps that we too can keep surprising ourselves, no matter how many seasons we've seen. The first time you step outside at night and see those glowing mushrooms guiding your path, you'll understand. They're more than garden lights. They're little beacons of joy born from nothing more than curiosity and a fresh way of looking at things. There's something ancient and comforting about gathering around a fire. Even the smallest flame seems to pull people in, sparking conversation and slowing time. On summer evenings, that warm flicker can turn an ordinary porch into a gathering place you never want to leave. The best part, you don't need a big fire pit or complicated setup to enjoy that feeling. With a few simple finds from Dollar Tree, you can create a fireball centerpiece that's as beautiful as it is easy. Start with a large, sturdy metal container, something heat-safe like a metal bowl, tin, bucket, or planter. Line the bottom with 2 bags of smooth river rocks. Not only do these look stunning, but they also help distribute heat evenly and give the whole piece a grounded, natural feel. Next, pour in a layer of sand to anchor everything. Nestle 3 tiki torch candles into the sand, spaced evenly apart. The sand keeps them upright and stable while also insulating the container. When evening falls, light the torches. The flames will flicker above the river rock base, their glow reflected and amplified by the smooth stones. The effect is both elegant and primal, perfect for lingering with a cool drink in hand or sharing quiet conversation under the stars. Position your fireball on a sturdy table or as a low central feature on the porch floor. You can even make a few smaller versions for different seating areas. If you'd like to add a touch of scent, choose citronella tiki fuel to keep summer pests at bay while adding a subtle fragrance. And here's something wonderful: when the flames dance across those stones, they don't just light the space, they light the mood. Guests lean in. Laughter comes easier. Time feels softer. It's a project that costs less than a dinner out, yet it creates something far richer: a place to gather, to tell stories, to warm your hands and your heart. Proof that even the smallest fire can bring people together in the most beautiful way. So the next time the evening air turns cool and you find yourself wishing for a little glow, remember you can make it yourself right here with your own hands. That's the magic of a garden you've shaped yourself. It doesn't just grow flowers. It grows moments. There's a quiet kind of beauty in simple wood, the way it feels warm to the touch, the way it holds a history of trees and time. With Dollar Tree's wooden Jenga-style blocks, you can turn that warmth into something that glows both day and night. A set of handcrafted garden lanterns that look far more expensive than they are. Picture this: small towers of wood, each one built from pieces you've stacked yourself, with little gaps between the blocks where light can spill through like sunbeams through a picket fence. They're architectural, sculptural, and yet completely personal, because no two will ever be exactly alike. Start by laying out your blocks in the pattern you like, perhaps a simple rectangle, a pyramid, or even a spiral tower. Use a bit of wood glue between each piece for stability, leaving deliberate spaces for light to escape. Once your structure feels secure, place a battery-operated LED tea light or small flameless candle inside. At night, the light filters through those tiny openings, casting intricate patterns across your porch floor or garden table. By day, the lanterns become little works of art, natural wood sculptures that feel as though they've been shaped by hand, because they have. If you'd like, stain the wood a warm honey color, paint it to match your porch decor, or leave it raw for a rustic, organic feel. You can make several in different heights for a lantern village effect, each one with its own shape and personality. What I love most about this project is how tactile it is, stacking the blocks, deciding where the light will peek through, shaping something beautiful one piece at a time. It's the kind of crafting that doesn't rush you, that lets your hands and mind wander together. And when you place them outside and see that first gentle glow after sunset, you'll know you've built more than a lantern. You've built a little beacon, a reminder that even the smallest pieces, when thoughtfully arranged, can create something extraordinary. Some decorations just make you smile before you've even finished setting them down. These cheerful planters made from seasonal shopping bags are one of those projects full of personality, completely affordable. And so easy you could make them in an afternoon with a cup of tea by your side. Dollar Tree often carries festive reusable shopping bags, some with stars and stripes for summer, others with bright florals, coastal scenes, or holiday patterns. Instead of using them just for carrying groceries, why not turn them into lightweight, charming planters? Here's how: choose a bag with a design you love, then line it with a plastic trash bag to protect the material from water. For extra stability, add floral foam or a small plastic bucket inside. This gives your arrangement structure and keeps everything upright. Now fill your lined bag with a mix of artificial flowers, greenery, and seasonal accents. For a patriotic summer look, combine red geraniums, white daisies, and blue cornflowers. Then tuck in miniature American flags or star-shaped picks. For a softer summer theme, try sunflowers, baby's breath, and sprigs of faux lavender. When the season changes, simply remove the arrangement and store it flat until next year. You can even keep a few bags for different occasions: pumpkins and fall leaves for autumn evergreens, and berries for winter, tulips for spring. Place your bag planter on porch steps, hang it from a railing hook, or set it by your front door to greet visitors. It's so lightweight you can move it in seconds, and because you're using artificial flowers, it stays fresh and full no matter the weather. What I love about this project is how it invites a little playfulness into the garden. It's a reminder that not every beautiful thing needs to be permanent or costly. Sometimes it's just about bringing a burst of color and joy into the moment you're in. And maybe that's why it feels so right for a summer porch. It's easy, it's bright, and it speaks to that same spirit of celebration that makes a simple day feel special. Some corners of the garden are meant for practicality: rows of herbs, sturdy tomato cages, well-placed seating. But then, there are the corners that ask for something else entirely. A bit of whimsy, a whisper of magic. That's where a fairy garden belongs. Dollar Tree's miniature fairy houses, tiny furniture, and pint-sized figurines are just waiting to help you build a world where imagination can take root. This is a project you can make for yourself, for visiting grandchildren, or simply because it's delightful to have a place where stories seem to bloom alongside flowers. Start with a large planter shallow bin or even a wooden tray. Fill it with potting soil or moss, then begin shaping your little world. Maybe there's a winding pebble pathway leading to a tiny front door. Perhaps a gnome tends a patch of miniature mushrooms while a fairy lounges beside a mirrored pond. A simple craft mirror works perfectly. Add small plant succulents, thyme, or baby's tears that won't overwhelm the scale of your scene. You can build for the seasons a snowy fairy village in winter, a pastel meadow in spring, a pumpkin harvest scene in autumn. Tuck in battery-powered tea lights or tiny strands of fairy lights so the garden glows softly at night, inviting even the most skeptical passerby to pause and peek closer. The joy of a fairy garden is in the details. Visitors, whether friends, children, or just you, will always discover something new: a hidden mushroom, a sleeping squirrel, a chair pulled up beside a table waiting for tea. And beyond its charm, there's something deeply soothing about creating on such a small scale. It's a reminder that beauty doesn't always need to be grand to be meaningful. Sometimes it's in the little moments, the flicker of light on moss, the bend of a tiny fence, that we find the most joy. Your fairy garden may be miniature, but the smiles it brings will be anything but small. There's something about sharing food outdoors that feels especially warm and welcoming. Maybe it's the way the air seems to season each bite, or how conversations flow more easily when everyone's gathered around a table of colorful, inviting snacks. With just a few thoughtful touches and a little Dollar Tree creativity, you can create a charcuterie station that looks like it belongs in a magazine spread, yet costs less than a single cheese board from the store. Start with the basics: Dollar Tree's glass plates, small bowls, and serving utensils. Choose clear glass for a timeless, elegant look, or mix in a few ceramic pieces for charm. To make your spread look abundant and professional, create height. Turn bowls upside down to use as risers, then place plates or trays on top. Vary the levels so the eye moves across the display just as it would in a high-end catered setup. Now layer in your offerings: wedges of cheese, crackers, fresh fruit, nuts, and perhaps a little dish of olives or chocolate. Use small chalkboard signs, also from Dollar Tree, to label each item. This tiny detail makes guests feel cared for and adds an upscale touch. The beauty of this station is that it's as flexible as you need it to be. For a summer evening, add chilled grapes, strawberry slices, and light cheeses. For cooler months, swap in spiced nuts, dried fruit, and a richer selection of flavors. Because all the serving pieces nest together when not in use, storage is minimal, perfect for keeping your porch uncluttered. And here's the thing: when you serve food like this, it's not just about eating. It's about slowing down, lingering together, and savoring both the flavors and the company. Friends will naturally gather around the table. Conversations will spark, and time will seem to stretch just a little longer. In the end, it's not about the cost of the plates or the fanciness of the food. It's about creating an experience, one that makes people feel welcome, comfortable, and a little bit spoiled. And that, dear friend, is the true heart of hospitality. There's something wonderfully calming about the sight of a perfectly shaped topiary. It brings a sense of order and grace to a space, as if the garden itself is taking a deep, contented breath. But real topiaries require constant trimming and care, something not all of us want to keep up with anymore. That's why I love this Dollar Tree version. With a faux boxwood ball, a whiskey barrel planter, and just a few minutes of assembly, you can create an elegant, maintenance-free topiary that looks like it came straight from a high-end garden shop. Start with your container. Those lightweight whiskey barrel planters are perfect. Place a sturdy piece of floral foam inside, wedging it so it's snug. Then use a wooden dowel or even a broomstick handle as your trunk. Insert it into the foam, making sure it's straight and secure. Now comes the fun part. Slide your faux boxwood ball onto the dowel. Adjust it so it sits just above the rim of the planter, leaving enough trunk visible for that classic topiary silhouette. For a finished look, cover the foam with Spanish moss, decorative mulch, or small river rocks. One topiary looks lovely beside a doorway, but a pair flanking an entrance or framing a seating area creates a balanced, polished effect. You can also group several of different heights together for a tiered designer-style display. The beauty of this project is not only in how it looks, but in how it lasts. No watering, no shaping, no fading into an overgrown mess. Just an evergreen sphere of perfection that greets you every time you step outside. And while it may seem like a small thing, this kind of detail changes the whole feel of a porch. It says someone has cared for this space. It offers a sense of welcome, whether to guests or simply to you returning with your morning coffee. Because sometimes, creating beauty isn't about hours of labor. It's about knowing where to place a single perfect touch. And this dear friend is one of those touches that quietly transforms everything around it. There's a certain kind of music that only a summer breeze can play. It's gentle, unhurried, and somehow always seems to match the pace of the day. With a simple Dollar Tree craft, you can turn that breeze into a melody, a wind chime made from everyday items that sounds as lovely as it looks. Start by gathering a few metal spoons. You can find them at Dollar Tree or pick up extras from your own kitchen drawer. The metal gives a clear, pleasant tone when the pieces gently strike each other. To add beauty, thread colorful beads onto sturdy string or fishing line, knotting them between spoons so they dangle at varying lengths. The beads catch the light, adding a little sparkle even when the air is still. For the frame, an embroidery hoop makes the perfect circular base. You can wrap it with ribbon twine or nautical rope for texture. Tie each spoon strand to the hoop, spacing them evenly so they have room to move and sing. For a layered sound, vary the string lengths, some short for higher notes, some longer for deeper tones. Hang your finished wind chime where it can catch the breeze from a porch beam, a shepherd's hook, or the limb of a nearby tree. The first time the wind stirs it, you'll hear that soft tinkling music, less like a song, more like a whispered conversation between the air and the garden. Painting the spoons in your favorite colors adds another layer of charm. But leaving them silver has its own classic beauty. Either way, this is the kind of project that brings a personal touch to your space. Your hands have shaped it. Your style has defined it. And maybe that's what makes it so special. The melody belongs only to you and your garden. No two breezes are the same, and no 2 days will sound alike. It's a reminder that beauty can be both constant and ever-changing, a little daily gift from nature strung together with care. A porch or patio that feels like a sanctuary often starts with one simple thing: order. When everything has its place, tending to your plants becomes easier, quicker, and far more enjoyable. And with a few clever finds from Dollar Tree, you can create a garden tool station that's as beautiful as it is functional. Begin with a sturdy backboard. This could be a scrap piece of wood, a section of fence panel, or even a large picture frame backing. Paint it in a cheerful color that complements your outdoor decor. Sage green, sunny yellow, or crisp white all work wonderfully. Next, attach Dollar Tree hooks and hanging organizers to the board. Use large hooks for trowels, pruning shears, and gloves. Add smaller hooks or magnetic strips for items like plant labels, scissors, or twine. Metal buckets from Dollar Tree make excellent catch-alls for seed packets, garden markers, or hand towels. Mount your board on an exterior wall of your porch or lean it against a sheltered spot near your seating area. If bending or stooping is difficult, install everything at waist or chest height so tools are always within easy reach. For an extra touch, coordinate the look by painting tool handles in matching colors or wrapping them with grip tape in a pattern you love. This not only adds charm, but also makes your tools easier to spot at a glance. Consider including a small towel, a packet of wet wipes, and a pump bottle of hand sanitizer right on the station, perfect for a quick refresh before settling back down with a glass of iced tea. When guests see your organized display, they'll notice more than just the tools. They'll see a gardener who's made beauty a part of every detail, even the practical ones. And for you, it means no more searching, no more wandering back inside for the scissors, no more frustration. Just the ease of knowing that every time you step outside to tend your flowers or herbs, everything you need is right where it should be, waiting to help you create something wonderful. Because the truth is, when the work of the garden is made easier, the joy of it has more room to grow. There's a special kind of joy in being greeted before you've even knocked on a door. A handmade welcome sign does exactly that. It sets the tone for your home before anyone steps inside, telling visitors you are thought of and you are welcome here. And with Dollar Tree craft supplies, creating one for every season is as easy as it is heartwarming. Start with a wooden board or plaque. Dollar Tree often carries unfinished pieces that are light enough to hang anywhere. Wooden letters, stencils, or even adhesive vinyl can be used to spell out your message. Hello sunshine for summer garden. Blessings for spring harvest. Welcome for autumn. The words are entirely yours. Paint your board in a color that fits the season. Soft pastels for spring, vibrant yellow or turquoise for summer, warm rusts and oranges for fall. If freehand painting feels daunting, use stencils for crisp, professional lettering. For something changeable, coat the center with chalkboard paint so you can update your greeting whenever the mood strikes. To add charm, glue on small accents, silk flowers, tiny seashells, painted leaves, or miniature ornaments depending on the time of year. Wrap a bit of burlap ribbon around one corner or attach a sprig of faux greenery for texture. Hang your sign near your front door on a porch post or even from a garden hook in a flower bed. Rotate it with the seasons or holidays, tucking the others away in a flat storage bin until it's their time to shine again. The beauty of this project is that it doesn't just decorate, it communicates. It says this home is cared for. Someone thought about making it warm for you. And perhaps even more importantly, it greets you every time you step outside or return home. Because a garden or porch isn't only about flowers and furniture, it's about the way it makes people feel. And nothing says come in and stay a while quite like a sign made by your own hands. There's something satisfying about knowing exactly which herb you're reaching for, especially when you've planted a fragrant mix. And while a sprig of rosemary may be easy to spot, those tiny leaves of oregano and marjoram can be tricksters. That's where charming herb garden labels come in, not just as a practical tool, but as a bit of personality for your plants. Dollar Tree offers plenty of options for crafting your own. Smooth river stones, wooden craft sticks, or even small chalkboard signs can become delightful markers. If you choose stones, pick ones with a flat surface and paint the name of the herb in clear, bold letters. You could even decorate the edges with little leaves or flowers for extra charm. Wooden sticks can be painted in soft garden colors, sage green, lavender, sunflower yellow, and labeled with waterproof markers or vinyl lettering for durability. Place each label firmly in the soil near its plant, angled slightly so it's easy to read without bending too far. You might color code them: green for culinary herbs, purple for medicinal, yellow for aromatic, to make identification even simpler. For a playful touch when grandchildren visit, write fun facts or uses for the herb on the back of the label. Imagine their delight when they learn basil can be used for pizza or lavender can help with sleep. It turns a simple garden walk into a little learning adventure. Beyond their usefulness, these labels make your garden feel curated, almost like a page from a well-loved gardening book. They say, these plants matter. They each have a place, a name, a purpose. And perhaps that's the deeper joy they remind us to name and notice the things that feed us in body and in spirit. Just as we remember the names of old friends, we learn to greet each herb like a companion. Good morning, rosemary. Hello again, thyme. Because in a garden, as in life, knowing what's growing around you and calling it by name makes all the difference. Every garden has its blossoms, but sometimes it's the little accents between the plants that truly make the space feel alive. Decorative garden stakes are like the jewelry of the garden, tiny splashes of color and character that catch the light, draw the eye, and bring a touch of whimsy to your outdoor space. Dollar Tree often carries beautiful 5 decorative stakes in shapes and colors that look like they wandered straight out of a storybook. Think pastel flowers, metallic butterflies, or painted birds perched on slender rods. The magic of these pieces is how easily they can be tucked into almost any spot. Choose stakes in colors that complement your flowers or contrast boldly for drama. A cluster of pink and gold stakes in a bed of green hostas will stand out beautifully, while soft blue stakes can bring cool balance to a garden heavy with warm tones. Place them in odd number groupings, 3 or 5 together for the most natural, pleasing look. You can use stakes to guide the eye toward a focal point like a favorite container or garden bench, or to fill in empty patches before your plants mature. They're especially useful in planters where the flowers haven't quite filled out yet, adding instant fullness without waiting for growth. And don't underestimate how lovely they look in the early morning or evening light. The colors seem to glow when the sun is low, making the garden feel magical at the edges of the day. What I love most is that these stakes aren't permanent. They can be moved with the season rearranged as you change your plantings or even brought inside for holiday displays. They give you the freedom to refresh your garden's look whenever inspiration strikes. Because sometimes it's not about grand changes. It's about the little touches that bring joy in unexpected corners, those tiny notes of beauty that make you pause, smile. And remember that gardens are as much for delight as they are for growth. Every comfortable porch needs a place to set things down, a morning coffee, an iced tea, a good book. But outdoor furniture can be pricey, and finding something small enough for tight spaces isn't always easy. That's where this clever Dollar Tree idea comes in, turning a simple pizza pan and a few wire baskets into a charming side table that looks custom-made. Start with 2 matching wire baskets. Flip one upside down and place it on top of the other, bottoms touching. Secure them with strong construction adhesive or zip ties for stability. This forms the table's base, lightweight yet sturdy enough for everyday use. Next, wrap the baskets in nautical rope or jute twine. This not only adds texture and warmth, but also hides any seams or ties, giving the piece a polished, finished look. Choose a natural rope for a coastal vibe, white cord for a cottage style, or dyed rope for a pop of color. For the tabletop, take a Dollar Tree pizza pan and paint it to match your decor. A soft sage green blends beautifully with garden spaces, while matte black feels modern and timeless. Spray paint with primer works best for durability, especially if the table will live outdoors. Once dry, secure the pan to the top of the base with adhesive. You can leave it smooth for easy cleaning or add a placemat or small tray on top for extra charm. The result is a petite, stylish table perfect for holding drinks, snacks, or a vase of flowers right beside your favorite chair. Make 2 and place them at either end of a love seat, or tuck one between 2 rocking chairs for cozy conversation evenings. Because this project is lightweight, it's easy to move around depending on where you want to sit. And at just a few dollars in materials, you can change the look seasonally, swapping out rope colors, repainting the top, or even making a few extra tables for when guests come by. It's proof that elegance doesn't have to be heavy on the back or the wallet. Sometimes all it takes is a little imagination and the simplest of ingredients to create something both beautiful and useful. Even the simplest outdoor meal feels more special when the table is dressed with care. You don't need fine china or silverware. Sometimes it's the smallest touches that make guests feel truly welcomed. Handmade napkin rings are one of those touches, and with Dollar Tree's craft supplies, they're as easy as they are charming. Start with plain wooden rings, shower, curtain rings, or even the cardboard tubes from paper towel rolls cut into sections. Wrap each ring in your choice of ribbon twine or raffia, securing the ends with a dab of hot glue. Keep the wrapping neat and snug so the surface looks smooth and polished. Then add a small embellishment, perhaps a silk flower, a sprig of faux greenery, or a tiny seashell. For a more seasonal flair, try miniature pine cones in autumn, hollyberries for winter, or pastel blossoms for spring. Dollar Tree's floral aisle is full of options that can be clipped apart and attached to each ring. Once finished, slip them around rolled napkins cloth for a formal look, or even folded paper napkins for casual gatherings. Matching your napkin ring design to your porch decor ties the whole setting together, making the space feel thoughtfully curated. The beauty of this project is how versatile it is. You can create a set in patriotic colors for summer holidays, soft garden shades for afternoon tea, or bold tropical hues for a lively barbecue. Store each set in a small basket so they're ready for any occasion. And here's the real magic: guests may not remember every detail of the food you served, but they'll remember the way it felt to sit down at a table where someone had taken the time to make it beautiful. These little rings speak quietly but clearly. You matter enough for me to add something extra. Because in the end, it's not about perfection, it's about presence. The presence of care, of thoughtfulness, and of a host who knows that beauty lives in the details. Some plants just deserve a stage of their own, a little lift, so they can be admired without being overshadowed. And with Dollar Tree's gold wire baskets, you can give them that spotlight, turning an ordinary pot into a showpiece with hardly any effort at all. The process couldn't be simpler. Take one of the gold wire baskets and flip it upside down. The wide flat bottom becomes the perfect platform for a planter to rest on, instantly adding height and elegance. The metallic finish catches the light, making even the most humble plastic pot look like it belongs in a high-end garden shop. If you'd like to vary the height of your display, stack 2 baskets together, secure them with zip ties or strong tape where they meet. This creates a taller pedestal perfect for cascading plants like ivy or petunias that will drape gracefully over the sides. To prevent scratches on delicate surfaces, wrap a strip of clear packing tape around the rim or add small adhesive pads underneath. You can leave the baskets as they are for that glamorous gold accent or spray paint them to match your porch decor black for a sleek modern look, white for cottage charm, or a bright color for playful contrast. Arrange several stands in a cluster for a tiered effect or use just one as a focal point beside a chair or entryway. Because they're lightweight, you can move them around as the sun shifts or as your design mood changes. What's lovely about this idea is how it elevates not just the plant, but the whole space. A simple adjustment in height draws the eye, creates balance in your arrangement, and lets each bloom be seen in its best light. It's a reminder that sometimes beauty isn't about changing the plant at all, it's about changing the way we present it. A small lift, a little shine, and suddenly something ordinary feels like it's ready for its close-up. There's a certain calm that comes from watching water hold something beautiful, like the way a lily rests effortlessly on the surface of a pond. You can bring that same serenity to your porch or patio with a simple floating flower display, made with nothing more than a shallow container, a bit of water, and blooms you love. Start with a wide low vessel. Dollar Tree's cake pans, decorative bowls, or serving trays all work perfectly. Fill it with clean water, leaving about an inch from the rim so it won't spill when moved. If you'd like to add a little extra charm, place smooth river rocks or glass gems at the bottom for weight and sparkle. Now comes the magic snip, the heads from fresh flowers, roses, gerbera, daisies, zinnias, or whatever is blooming in your garden. Let them float freely across the surface, mixing colors and textures until it feels just right. If fresh blooms aren't available, high-quality artificial flowers can create the same effect and last all season. For evening gatherings, add a few floating candles. As dusk falls, the glow will dance across the petals and shimmer in the water, creating a centerpiece that feels almost otherworldly. You can customize this display for any occasion: soft pastels for a tea, with friends bold reds and oranges for summer celebrations, or even greenery and pine cones for a winter porch table. Change it as often as you like. The setup takes only minutes. Set your floating flower bowl on a side table as a dining table centerpiece, or even on a plant stand in a corner that needs a little lift. Every time you pass it, you'll feel a small wave of calm, proof that waterlight and nature are a combination that never fails to soothe. Because in the rush of daily life, these gentle moments matter. A bowl of blooms may not change the world, but it can change the way your porch feels, and maybe even the way you feel when you sit there watching beauty float so effortlessly in place. Some plants seem to thrive on a little neglect, and succulents are among the best of them. They're forgiving, sculptural, and bring a quiet elegance to any space, especially in the heat of summer when other plants might wilt. With a few Dollar Tree containers, you can create a succulent garden that looks like it came from a boutique nursery, yet requires only the gentlest care. Start with your vessels. Self-watering planters from Dollar Tree are ideal, but shallow bowls. Small metal tubs or ceramic look pots work beautifully too. If your container doesn't have drainage holes, add a layer of pebbles or small stones to the bottom to keep roots from sitting in water. Fill the container with a cactus or succulent potting mix, lighter and sandier than regular soil. Then begin arranging your plants. Mix varieties with different shapes and textures: tall spikes like sansevieria, rosettes of echeveria, trailing strings of pearls, or burrow's tail. Group them close together for a lush, full look, or space them out and let decorative gravel fill the gaps for a modern minimalist feel. Succulents love bright light, so place your arrangement where it will catch the sun for several hours a day. Water sparingly, about once every 2 weeks, or when the soil feels completely dry. These plants are happiest when left alone between drinks. For extra charm, tuck in small accents like polished stones, tiny figurines, or even a miniature sign that says, "Welcome." Because succulents grow slowly, your arrangement will hold its shape for months, making it a long-lasting, low-maintenance focal point. The beauty of this project is its adaptability. You can make a single small planter to brighten a table or create several matching containers to line a porch railing. They'll bring structure and life to your space without demanding constant attention, perfect for days when you'd rather simply sit and enjoy the view. Succulents remind us that thriving doesn't always mean constant growth or fuss. Sometimes it's about holding steady, soaking in the light, and letting your beauty show in your own quiet way. There's a certain charm in a plain terracotta pot, the warm, earthy color the way it feels in your hands. But sometimes giving it a fresh coat of personality can completely change the way it greets you on the porch. With a little paint and imagination, even the humblest pot from Dollar Tree can become a custom piece that feels like it belongs in a designer garden collection. Begin with clean, dry terracotta pots. Wipe away any dust so the paint adheres smoothly. Then choose your colors: soft pastels for a cottage garden, rich jewel tones for drama, or a classic white for a fresh, crisp look. Acrylic craft paints work beautifully, and Dollar Tree often carries a variety of shades. For texture, try sponge painting to create a mottled, aged effect. For something bold, use painter's tape to mark off geometric patterns, stripes, chevrons, or color blocks. You can even stencil floral designs or delicate vines for a more intricate style. Once the paint is fully dry, seal your work with a clear acrylic spray. This protects your design from weather and watering, helping the colors stay vibrant through the season. Plant your favorites: bright geraniums, trailing lobelia, fragrant herbs, and place your painted pots where they'll be noticed on porch steps, clustered by a seating area, or lined along a windowsill. Grouping several and coordinating designs creates a pulled-together, intentional look that can tie your whole outdoor space together. The joy of this project isn't just in the transformation, it's in the act of sitting down with a brush, letting your creativity wander, and making something with your own hands. Every time you see those pots, you'll remember the quiet afternoon you spent bringing them to life. And perhaps that's the loveliest part: they're not just containers for plants. They're little pieces of your story painted into your garden for all to see. There's something about the texture of rope that feels instantly warm and inviting, like a nod to coastal cottages, sunny piers, and breezy afternoons by the water. You can bring that same relaxed, high-end look to your porch with this simple transformation, turning plain plastic planters into rope-wrapped beauties that look like they came from an expensive seaside boutique. Start with any sturdy planter from Dollar Tree. Size and shape are up to you. Wipe it clean so the glue will adhere well. Then take Dollar Tree's nautical rope or jute twine and begin wrapping from the bottom upwards, securing it every few inches with hot glue. Keep the coils tight, and even so the rope lays smoothly without gaps. You can cover the entire pot for a fully wrapped look, or just do the lower half to create a dipped effect that shows a band of the original planter color at the top. For extra detail, use a second thinner rope in a contrasting color to add a decorative stripe or pattern midway up the pot. Once wrapped, fill your planter with anything from cheerful annuals to a lush fern. The natural fibers of the rope pair beautifully with greenery, making every plant seem a little more vibrant. Rope also adds a bit of insulation, helping to keep roots from getting too hot in summer or too chilly on a cool night. Group several rope-wrapped planters together for a coordinated look, or mix them with painted pots for an eclectic, collected-over-time style. Because this makeover is so affordable, you can change the rope color or style, seasonally lighter tones for summer, darker for fall, or even add a festive ribbon for the holidays. What I love most about this project is how it disguises something ordinary and gives it an entirely new personality. It's a reminder that beauty often comes from the smallest changes, and that with a little patience and creativity, even the simplest materials can feel elegant. Much like us, these planters have been given a new wrapping, a fresh chapter, and now they stand tall, ready to welcome whatever life decides to plant in them. Small porches have their own kind of charm, cozy, intimate, and easy to make your own. But sometimes they can feel a bit closed in or shaded. That's where mirrors step in, bringing light, depth, and a touch of surprise to even the tiniest outdoor corner. Start with an inexpensive framed mirror from Dollar Tree. Choose a style that complements your space, simple and clean-lined for modern looks, or ornate and distressed for vintage appeal. If you'd like, paint or stencil the frame to match your porch colors. A weathered white works beautifully for cottage charm, while matte black adds quiet elegance. Placement is key. Hang the mirror where it will catch and reflect natural light morning sun for a gentle glow, or evening light for a soft golden wash. Position it opposite your favorite planter or garden view so it doubles the beauty without taking up any extra space. In shaded areas, it will bounce what little light there is, instantly making the space feel brighter. For safety, secure your mirror well and use one designed for outdoor or covered areas. You can even prop it against a wall on a sturdy table for a more relaxed, layered look. To make the mirror feel like part of the garden, let vines or trailing plants frame its edges, blurring the line between reflection and reality. The effect can be enchanting. Your eye catches a flash of green or a bloom in the glass, and for a moment, it's as if the garden extends farther than it really does. It's a simple trick that feels almost like magic, turning a small porch into a space with depth and openness. And perhaps that's why I love this idea so much. It's proof that perspective can change everything. A mirror doesn't add a single flower or inch of space, yet it transforms the way you see what's already there. Sometimes in gardening, as in life, all it takes is a fresh angle to realize just how much beauty surrounds you. Nothing invites you to linger on the porch quite like a comfortable seat. Cushions turn a simple chair into a resting place, a spot where you can sip tea, read a few pages, or watch the light change across your garden. But outdoor cushions can be costly, and keeping them fresh through the seasons can feel like a chore. That's why this Dollar Tree-friendly approach is such a game changer. Begin with basic outdoor cushions, either ones you already own or inexpensive finds from a discount store. Then visit Dollar Tree's fabric section or pick up tablecloths, scarves, or even decorative pillowcases in patterns you love. These will become your cushion covers, allowing you to change the look whenever you like, without replacing the cushion itself. For a no-sew option, wrap the fabric snugly around the cushion and secure it underneath with safety pins, fabric glue, or Velcro strips. If you enjoy sewing, stitch up simple slip covers with an envelope-style back so they're easy to remove and wash. You can even add ribbon ties at the corners for a charming cottage-inspired detail. Choose patterns and colors that fit the season's sunflower yellow or nautical stripes for summer, warm plaids for autumn, soft pastels for spring. Because these covers are so affordable, you can refresh your seating as often as you change your porch decor. To make your cushions extra cozy, add a layer of weather-resistant batting beneath the cover. This not only increases comfort, but also helps them hold their shape. For benches or swings, make a long continuous cushion with a matching or coordinating pattern so the whole piece feels intentional and inviting. The beauty of this project is that it extends the life of your cushions while keeping your porch style flexible. One simple chair can feel brand new from season to season, all with just a change of fabric. And there's something special about sitting down on a chair that's been dressed for the moment, knowing that you've prepared it, that it reflects the season you're in, and that it's ready to welcome you whenever you're ready to rest. Because comfort isn't just about softness. It's about creating a space that says, "Stay a while." And with a few yards of fabric and a little imagination, you can make that invitation last all year long. There's a timeless charm in a window box overflowing with flowers. It's like the house itself is smiling, dressed up for the season. And the best part, you can create that welcoming look with affordable Dollar Tree finds and a few simple planting tricks, no sprawling garden required. Start with Dollar Tree's rectangular planters. They're lightweight and easy to work with, yet sturdy enough to hold a lush arrangement. If you want a polished professional touch, line them with coconut coir or moss before adding soil. This not only improves drainage, but also gives that classic garden center appearance. When planting, think in layers. Place taller plants like snapdragons, salvia, or small ornamental grasses in the back. In the middle, use medium-height fillers such as geraniums, marigolds, or coleus for a burst of color. At the front, let trailing plants Lobelia sweet alyssum ivy spill gracefully over the edge. This thriller filler spiller method makes any arrangement look abundant and balanced. If you prefer low-maintenance beauty mix in faux greenery or silk flowers from Dollar Tree, they'll stay perfect all season and can be swapped out for new colors when the next season arrives. Attach your window boxes beneath windows, along porch railings, or even on a fence to create a living wall. Keep them at a comfortable height so watering and deadheading are easy. Your back will thank you. For a cohesive look, coordinate the colors in your boxes with your porch decor, matching cushion covers, wreaths, or welcome signs. Tie everything together. And don't be afraid to change the theme throughout the year. Pastel blooms in spring, bold tropicals in summer, rich mums, and ornamental kale in autumn. What I love most about window boxes is how they greet you every time you look outside or return home. They frame your view with beauty, turning even the simplest porch into a space that feels cared for and loved. Because sometimes the most joyful gardens aren't the biggest. They're the ones right at eye level, ready to meet you with color and cheer every single day. Few things transform a porch faster than the warm glow of string lights. They have a way of softening the edges of the evening, making every space feel inviting, like you've stepped into your own private cafe. And with Dollar Tree's affordable LED strings, you can bring that magic home without spending more than the cost of a single dinner out. Start with warm white LED lights for a timeless, cozy feel. If your porch is covered, drape them along the beams or around the edges of the ceiling. For an open-air space, weave them along railings, wrap them gently around posts, or zigzag them overhead between hooks or trees. The key is to think about how you want the light to feel. A single strand around the perimeter creates a clean frame of light, while multiple strands crossing above give a festive canopy effect. If you want a softer glow, try placing the lights inside sheer curtains or tulle draped along a railing. This diffuses the light into a gentle shimmer. Because LED lights are energy efficient, you can leave them up all year, switching them on for summer gatherings, autumn evenings, or even winter nights when you need a little extra sparkle. They work beautifully alongside other garden lighting too, like solar stakes, lanterns, or fairy light jars, layering light at different heights for depth and atmosphere. And here's a little secret: string lights aren't just for night. Even in daylight, they add a sense of celebration to your porch, hinting that something special might happen here at any moment. When you finally sit down under that gentle glow with a good book, a cup of tea, or a friend by your side, you'll feel it. The way the lights wrap around you like a soft blanket, turning the ordinary into something quietly magical. Because in the end, it's not just about seeing your garden. It's about feeling it, and under the glow of string lights every evening feels like a moment worth remembering. Well, my dear friend, look at the journey we've taken together today. From a stackable garden tower to twinkling string lights, we've explored more than 30 ways to breathe fresh life into your porch or patio. Proof that beauty doesn't need to cost a fortune or require more energy than we have to give. Every idea we've shared has one thing in common. It starts with something small. A humble Dollar Tree find, a bit of rope, a splash of paint. And then with your hands, your care, and your imagination, it becomes something more. Something that reflects your story, your taste, and your love of home. Because that's what these projects really are, not just decorations, but little pieces of you scattered throughout your space. The lanterns that glow after sunset, the cushions that invite you to sit, the flowers that spill over their containers in joyful abundance, they all whisper this is a place where someone has loved, tended, and dreamed. And isn't that the true joy of gardening? Not just the blooms themselves, but the way they weave into our lives. The quiet mornings spent watering the soft evenings under the lights, the laughter of friends gathered around a table you set with care. Your porch or patio doesn't have to be grand to be magical. It just needs to be yours, a reflection of the beauty you've chosen to nurture. And every time you step outside, you'll be reminded that creativity doesn't fade with age. In fact, it deepens, growing richer with every season you've lived. So whether you try one of these ideas or all 32, know that each little change is a brushstroke in a bigger picture. And that picture, dear one, is your masterpiece. If even one idea here made you think I could do that, I'd be delighted if you shared it with a thumbs up. And I'd love to hear from you what project calls your name. The fairy garden, the fireball centerpiece, or maybe those rope-wrapped planters. Let's inspire each other in the comments. Until we meet again, keep growing. Keep creating and keep believing in the magic you bring to everything you touch. Happy gardening, my dear friend. I'll see you in the next one.